Hello guys and welcome back to another episode. This is episode 48 of Patton's Best. Yes, 48. I know, it's crazy. We are still in our beautiful EC8. We have survived forever in this one, which is really strange because before, as soon as we got an EC8, we always died on the same day. We are still with our almost perfect crew. The tank name is Berlin Bound. The commander, Sergeant D. Niemi, has a rating of 10. Our gunner, Corporal T. Brayton, has a rating of 10. Our loader, Johnny P., has a rating of 9. Driver, Private Nico, rating of 10. Assistant driver, Private Preemie Jack, rating of 10. Our personal VP is 77, so we're still 23 VP away from being promoted. Our decorations include 5 purple hearts for being wounded and hospitalized 5 times from serious and lighter wounds that required hospital care. Last time we ended by rolling for next day of combat, and next day of combat is this one here. That is a light advance on the 9th of April 1945. After that we have a few more advances. Let's see how many we have actually. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 more advances with low resistance. Combat happens on 2 or lower. The last 2 historical notes are Crossed Saale River and Folkenbø. And then we have 5 counterattacks, also with light resistance, and combat happens or 2 or later. So this could possibly be the very last episode. It could be it because we could die, or we could skip all those days of combat. We are going to have to roll for weather, and we roll 18s. We have clear weather. That's cool. I do not like fog. We mark off 15 minutes in the beginning and the end, and that's when we're going to have sunrise and sunset. 5:15 and 1900 hours. And then we load ammo. We roll for high velocity armor piercing. We roll 6. I think that's 2 rounds. Yes, that's 2 rounds. And we have 6 since previous. So we now have 8. We go with 20 HE. That's going to be, see here, 50 minus 7. So 43 AP. And now we're fully loaded. Roll on extra ammo table. Roll a 9. That's 30 extra HE and 10 extra 30 cal. I really don't like that, because if we get hit by a Panzerfaust now, I mean, there is a big risk of exploding with that many rounds. With that many rounds, we are gonna explode on a roll of 85 or higher. 80 or higher if it's a whole hit, and 75 or higher if it's 88L or 88LL. And that basically means that, I mean, there's a 25% chance almost that we're gonna die directly if we get hit before we get to roll for any crew escape, anything like that. That's not good, man. That is really bad. Okay, we need to roll, get ready rack ready. We go with full high velocity armor piercing, and we need to roll for time and ammo already expended. We forgot that last time. Roll a 7, that's 3 hours plus 1, that's 4 hours. Okay, and that is gonna be, see, that is gonna be 14 HE, so we go from 30 extra to 16 extra, and it's gonna be 7 30 cal boxes. We go from 10 extra to 3 extra. Roll for deployment, and roll 36. We're gonna be stopped, and then we start today. We should turn your tanks, open hatches. We open the loaders, drivers, and assistant drivers. Rounding the main gun would go with high velocity armor piercing, and that's it. Determine start area. Starting area is going to be 6, excuse me. Over here, exit area is going to be 9, which is over here. I think we had this one before. Okay, we roll for resistance in this B area, and it's a free, so it's light resistance. We go there straight away. That is going to be 45 minutes of time. Combat happens on 8 or higher. Roll a 2, so no combat. We also spend 2 fuels. We go from 35 to 33. And we roll for resistance in the D area. 7, which means light. Then we move to the D area, another 45 minutes. Also 1 VP for capturing that area. We roll for combat, 1 to 8. We roll a 3, so there is no combat. We receive 1 VP, and we roll for resistance in the A area over here. Roll a 3, so that's light resistance. We move into that area, that's 45 minutes of time. We roll for combat, 7 or higher this time. We roll a 7, so we mark off 50 minutes of time because we're gonna have combat. 47, that is a truck. Second enemy is gonna be 53, that is gonna be an light weapons. The truck will spawn over here. Distance will be medium. Facing will be front, and terrain will be open. Light weapons will also go over here. Distance will be short, and terrain is gonna be a building. And roll to see if there's an ambush. On a 1 to 7 there is an ambush. We roll 4, so yes, we have an ambush. The truck will, on a 24, which turns into a 34, move forward. That's not very clever. Its new facing will be the side. And new terrain is going to be hold down. And the light weapons. Roll 82 turns into 102. That is fire at your tank. So we roll on 80. That is going to be, I think, perhaps a loader. Assistant driver wounded, if not, possibly wounded, if not buttoned up. We roll 83. Light wound out 1 week. No. Preemie Jack. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He will be back here. AD back. Assistant driver Preemie Jack is wounded. Let's see, is he incapacitated? 83. He is incapacitated. Okay, so we got a call for a new crew member after this battle is complete. Let's close his hatch since he is incapacitated. It is a random event 71, which is gonna be enemy reinforcements. It is 38, which is gonna be a light weapons team that will spawn over here at close range, and terrain is gonna be moving in the open. Okay, and then it is our turn. We attempt to spot the light weapons with our driver. He is spotted. We attempt to spot the truck with the driver. It is spotted. We attempt to spot the light weapons with the driver. It is spotted. Okay, our loader is gonna fire the 50 cal at the light weapons, and our gunner is going to fire the coaxial at the truck. And that's it. Okay, so we check out our chance to kill. With the AA, we kill on a roll of 30 or lower in close range. That turns into 39 or lower because the loader's rating is 9. And the 39 versus light weapons moving in the open, which is minus 15. So the 39 or lower turns into 49, 44 or lower. 44 or lower, we get them. Should be more, right? 54, I think. Let's see, 30, 45, 54 or lower, we get the light weapons. And roll 64, that's just... light weapons, or we fire at the truck, right? Let's see here. The truck needs target moving, perhaps. See here. Sherman moving, target in woods. He's hold down. There is no modifier for that. Advanced fire, Sherman moving, target in woods, 80 gun, target fortification. It's not a fortification, it's just hold down. Okay, we're gonna say it's a kill 20 or lower, minus crew members rating, which is 10, so 30 or lower to get the truck. And roll 65, so it's a miss. It is the enemy's turn again. Light weapons here, we roll for first. We roll 40, that is gonna be move forward. So he moves into this area, capture, sit. And his new terrain will be, I think that is the woods. Let's see here. Yes, that is the woods. And the truck rolls 82, which is gonna be move back. His new facing will be front. His new terrain will be in the open. And then for our light weapons 32, that is gonna be move to the right. So it will move over here. New terrain is gonna be in the open. So that's gonna be a nice target for us. If we can spot it. Then it's our friendly's turn. They kill the light weapons here on a roll of 1 to 36. These guys on a 1 to 36. Both misses. Trucks. They get the truck on a roll of 1 to 66. 71. You gotta be kidding me. Random event. Enemy reinforcements. That is just what it is. Come on. New enemy reinforcements is 72. That's a Panzerspelwagen. It is gonna be a Spelwagen. Spelwagen will spawn over here at close range. It will show us a side and it will be in the open, so that's going to be a very good target for us. We're going to take that out. Okay, it is our turn again. We attempt to spot the light weapons down here. Spotted. We attempt to spot the Spelwagen, the half track. Spotted. We attempt to spot the other light weapons hidden. On a roll of 9. Attempt to spot the truck. Yeah, 2. Spotted. Okay. We shall rotate the turret and fire main gun. We shall not fire the... Okay. Okay, I think our commander opens his hatch and he will fire the submachine gun. It's a little bit dangerous with all of the infantry, but you know, he can't hide in there when there is, you know, something he can do. The loader is going to load and he will load with AP instead of high velocity armor piercing. He will also, yeah, he can't load from ready rack, unfortunately. I think, yeah, we roll with high velocity armor piercing. We have 8 rounds, and you know we need to kill that thing anyway. So our first roll, we also close the hatch for the driver. And our first roll is gonna be on the submachine gun versus that infantry squad. Oh no, that infantry squad became hidden. Okay, so I will close my hatch. I can't fire at someone that's hidden, and I will direct fire. Okay, so we rotate the turret and fire the main gun. First, let's see what we need to roll to get rate of fire. Base number is 20. Minus gunner's rating, so then we have a 30. Minor loader's rating, so now we have a 39. Minus 10 if taking from the ready rack. Maybe we should do that. Okay, we will load from ready rack. So then we have a 49 or lower. To hit the target, it is going to be a 75 or lower. Minus crew gunner members rating. So first of all, it's 65 because we turn the turret. And then it's a small target. So another plus 10, so it's 55 to hit. And then we have our combined crew rating, which is 29, so it turns into 74 or lower to hit. 49 or lower to get rate of fire, 74 or lower to hit. We mark off one high velocity armor piercing round. Take one from the ready rack, since we're reloading from ready rack. Roll now, moment of truth, 74 or lower to hit. And we roll 8, we definitely hit him. And let's see here. That is one AP hit, and I don't think I'm gonna fire more, because to kill him, to kill a Spähwagen with high velocity armor piercing. Let's see here. There's I'm guessing this is errata, because there is no number for the front for the Spähwagen or punch Spähwagen, only for side or rear hits, but it is the side we're hitting. 95 or lower. I'm not gonna fire again. I'll go with 95 or lower. We see if we penetrate or not. Roll a 12. We kill the Spähwagen with high velocity armor piercing. That is 2 VP for us. Let's see here. So we now go from 77 to 79 VP. We only need 21 more now to get promoted. Let's get rid of this. Okay, and that is the end. That's all we do. We roll for the enemy truck first. And the enemy truck will, on a roll of 93, do nothing. On the light weapons here, who are hidden, 62, which is gonna be fire at infantry. They need a roll of 30 or lower to kill, and they roll 64, so they fail. The infantry squad, 98, that is gonna be fire at your tank. Okay, we roll on collateral damage table, 82, which is the loader again. Poor loader. Loader possibly wounded if not buttoned up. 50, something, 55. Light wound, no effect. He makes it again. I'm going to write here also AD 1 week. Okay, we are gonna roll here for friendly fire now. Friendlies will kill the truck on a roll of 1 to 66. 64, so friendlies kill the truck. And we mark off VP for that. Friendlies will kill the light weapons on a roll of 1 to 36. 59. The light weapons on a roll of 1 to 36. 86. Random event 10. That is going to be friendly artillery. 1 to 30, that one. 7, so he's dead. By friendly artillery. Mark off VP. And also these guys are not moving any longer. And then this guy, he's in the forest, so that's a -3 to the die roll. So 1 to 33 he will die from the enemy artillery. 10. He's dead, and that marks the end of battle, as that was the random event. And if random event is the last thing to happen, you end the round. Okay, let's see here. Let's reset the battle board first of all. We mark the kill here. We capture that territory for 1 VP. And we roll for resistance in this B area. We roll a 9, so that's going to be another medium resistance. We roll for new deployment, 65. That is going to be us on the move. So we're moving. We reset this. Okay, we reload the ready rack. Let's get rid of this and this. We keep gun load, high velocity armor piercing. Get rid of the order markers. Let's see here. Okay, so what we need to do, first of all, we open the hatches. And we have something we need to do now because our poor system driver Premium Jack is wounded. We need to call in for we need to replace incapacitated crew member. That takes 30 minutes. So we mark off 30 minutes. And we are gonna roll let's see, a Premium Jack. Sorry, we have to erase your name just for now. You will be back in the tank before this is over. And let's check out our roster. Do we have any more volunteers? We have Timothy Sexton, that's a weird name, Pete Finch, Matthew Henson, and Grant Beck. Next on the line is Grant Beck. Grant Beck, and he is going to be our, see here, William N. was our first assistant driver. He's going to be our third, no, that's going to be our fourth, because then we had D. Anderson. It's going to be our fourth assistant driver, temporary only. Yes, sir. And we need to roll now for his new rating. We roll a D10. Half of it's rounded up. That's 2 in rating. That's not very good. But it's only the assistant drivers. It's the least important position. So, you know, it is okay. Let's see. What do we want to do now, guys? I'm gonna call in for airstrikes on that medium. First airstrike 1 to 4 granted. Second artillery 1 to 7 is granted. First airstrike is also, second airstrike is granted, and second artillery is granted. And then we call in for an artillery strike as well. Yes, we get that as well. This is a B area. Okay, we move in, and there is a dirt road, so that's only 30 minutes of travel time. We enter the area and roll to see if there is combat. It happens on 6 or higher. And roll a 4, no combat. Capture that territory. Also, we should have decreased the fuel by 2, so we have 31 fuel. Actually, that should be 33, 31, 20, 29. That should be 27. We keep forgetting about the fuel now that I'm getting excited about getting to the end. We roll for resistance in the exit area. 7. That is going to be medium resistance again. Mark off an hour, calling in for airstrikes and whatnot. First airstrike is not granted, but the artillery strike is. Second airstrike is granted, and artillery strike is. We try again, mark off 30 minutes. First airstrike is not granted, artillery strike is not granted either. Mark off another 30 minutes. First airstrike is granted. And artillery strike is also granted. We need to roll for our new deployment, which is going to be 7. So we are, whoops, we'll hold down, not moving. I don't believe we did that. Let me just check the camera angle, because now I kind of hit the cord again. Oh, you're good up here. Okay, we move into the area. That is 45 minutes of travel time. Roll to see if we have combat. Combat happens on a roll of 5 or higher. I'm going to reroll that. Roll of 5, so we will have combat. Mark off 50 minutes of combat, and we also remove 2 fuel. 3 enemy units will be activated. We activate number 44, which is light weapons. And we activate number 15, which is another light weapons. And then we activate 85, which is going to be a third light weapons. First one will spawn over here. Terrain is going to be in an A area. That's going to be a building. I'm just going to roll for their terrain. Second light weapons terrain will be, he's going to be in the woods, so he will have a modifier for the artillery, and third one will also be in a building. And the reason why I do is because I'm going to go ahead and fire all of the artillery, and you know, I won't have to roll for where to place them and distance, sector, all of that if they die anyway. So that way we save some time. With the terrain we have the necessary modifiers. So first this one who is in the woods, he will die on a roll of 1 to 33. We've rolled the first artillery, 73. Next 2 on a roll of 1 to 30. So the first one in the building, he's killed. I should have done this from the beginning, because now I save myself the time for all of that. Next guy, 1 to 30, 98. That's the first artillery strike. Next artillery strike, 1 to 33 in the woods. 1 to 30 in the building. We miss. Last artillery strike, 1 to 33 in the woods. 14, so he is dead. And 1 to 30, 94. So the last guy in the building is still alive, but we have 2 airstrikes, 1 to 30, 34. We have 1 last airstrike, 1 to 30, it kills him, and we rolled 100, so unfortunately we do not kill him. His starting area will be here, distance will be medium, and we mark on our after action report 2 kills for killing 2 light weapons. We roll to see if there is an ambush. 1 to 7 we have an ambush. We roll a 1, so there's an ambush. He rolls 37, turns into 57 with the ambush. And that is going to be moved back. Okay. This new terrain will be moving in the open. And we roll for random events. 10, which is going to be friendly artillery. Kill him on a roll of 1 to 30. And roll 82, so we miss. It is our turn. We attempt to spot with the driver. He rolled a 10, so he is hidden. We close all our hatches. There's nothing to fire on, so we fire the bow MG with our new friend. And he's going to keep his hatch open. Our new friend, Grand Beck, and we will also rotate turret with the gunner. Rotate the turret, roll for bow MG, ammo, 74, no ammo spent, only on 1 to 30. We roll for the light weapons, 52, which is going to be moved to the right. Nope, it's not. It's going to be moved back. So he retreats. He watched all of his friends get killed by artillery, and he didn't want the same thing to happen to him. So he retreats. You know, it's the end of the war, so the morale is probably pretty low. Random event is 7. That's going to be friendly artillery, so that's not going to happen. There's nothing to shoot on, and that marks the end of this battle. We reset the battle board. Mark a VP for captured area. That is area, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that should be an exit area actually. Let me correct that. So we have 4 normal areas captured, 1 exit area. And we have the roll for deployment 100. We are the bloody lead tank, and we are moving. We need a new area now. Roll for new starting area. Starting area is going to be 3, which is, let's see here, over here. Exit area is going to be 8, which is over here. We roll for resistance in this B area. 8. That is going to be medium resistance. Not good when we're the lead tank. We spend 15 minutes rolling for resistance in the A area. 3, so we have light resistance. We have a 30 minutes of travel there. I am going to go ahead and call for an airstrike and artillery. Airstrike 1 to 4, we roll a 4, it's granted. Artillery 1 to 7, we roll an 8, so it's not granted. However, we have 45 minutes remaining. We roll for artillery. First one is granted. Second one is not granted on a roll of 10. Third one we roll 2, so that's granted. We have 2 artillery strikes, 1 air support. We have 30 minutes left. That is what we use to move into that area. We go from 25 to 23 fuel. Roll to see if there is combat in this last area. Hope not, because we're the lead tank, and I just hope not. A area, combat will happen on a 7 or higher. We're all 6, so we skip combat. Ooh. Ooh. And that is the end. We capture the 5th area. Ugh. Let's reevaluate today. Let's remove this thing because it makes me feel sick. We have knocked out 4 machine guns and light weapons, knocked out 1 truck. We captured 5 areas with the advanced scenario victory point multiplier. We get 10 VP. We captured 1 exit area for 10 VP, turns into 20 VP. So the total VP for today is 0 by our tank, unfortunately. No, we killed a Punches Bewagen for 2 VP. So, yeah, that is 2 VP for us. It is for our friendlies 5 and for territory 30 VP. We will roll our dice here for Johnny P. He needs a 10. Come on, Johnny P. 4. And our new friend Grant Beck needs a 3 or higher. Rolls a 7. So he becomes a little bit better. That is the end of the day, my friends. And now we're going to go back to that special moment. Will there be an episode 49? Or is 48 the last episode? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more advances. Combat will happen on a roll of 2 or lower. We roll now for the 10th of April. Roll 6, so it's skipped. For the 11th of April. 4, so it's skipped. Then we have for the 12th of April, crossed Saale River. 10, we skip it. We roll for Falkenberg. 7, so we skip it. And my friends, that marks the very last advance. That is the very last advance. We have no more advances left, no more battles left, only counterattacks left. We hunker down our defensive positions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days left. I can't believe it. That is just crazy. How long have we been doing this? Am I crazy? Yes, I am. We have 5 more days. Combat happens on a 2 or lower. It's only counterattacks, light resistance. Combat happens on 2 or lower, and assistant driver will be back in 4 days. First counterattack, 3, so we skip it. Second counterattack on the 15th, 10, we skip it. Third counterattack on the 16th, 7, we skip it. And that means our assistant driver is back now. So we go back to our roster and just note that Grant Beck has been transferred. And Preemie Jack is back in the tank. We have 2 more days to roll for. If we don't have combat, this is going to be the last episode. So there could potentially be 2 more days of combat. So there could potentially be 2 more episodes. There could be episode 49 and even 50 if we have combat in both of these days. But if we don't have combat, this is the last episode, and that makes me freak out. I've been doing this for so long, so what am I going to do without this? We roll for the 17th of April, 2 or lower. We roll 7. Guys, this is it. This is the last day. If we roll a 3 or higher now, I have won the campaign. I have won the campaign of Patton's Best Bit with 1 commander. This is the moment of truth. If we roll a 1 or a 2, we will have a counterattack, and there is a real possibility that I will get killed on the very last day of the campaign, and that would not even surprise me. Okay. Moment of truth. Okay. 1 or 2. We have combat. I could die. 3 or higher. This is it. This is the end of months of work. 3. Okay, I'm going to count down. 3, 2, 1. I missed it. I missed. Where did that go? I want to use my black die because where did it go? All the way here. Because I have a feeling that this is my lucky die. I don't like the red one. And I also like to keep the 10 up when I throw it. So, you know, yes, I am crazy. Okay, moment of truth. 3 or higher, we don't have combat. 1 or 2, we have combat. I could die. 3, 2, 1. We roll 6, and therefore we end an epic adventure. We end an epic adventure now, guys. We have been fighting for months. I do not know how many hours I have played this game, how many hours I have spent editing, how many hours I have spent packing the game up and down and fixing the lights and picture and sound. But it has all been worth it. It has all been worth it. We survived. We have survived. Except everything that happened, we survived. We are the very last crew member who's been in the tank since the beginning. And if we look at, for example, T. Brayton, he is the 2nd gunner. So I think that's pretty impressive. Johnny P is gonna be, Johnny P, he's the 2nd loader, who was later transferred and came back. Nico is our 3rd driver. Preemie Jack is our 2nd assistant driver. So, and my commander, he's been wounded 5 times, seriously or lightly wounded. And how many times I've rolled on the wounds table for the commander, I don't know. I wish I would have noted, because for sure I have rolled 20 times for the commander. And if you roll 98 or higher, you're killed. If you roll 93 or higher, you're seriously wounded and sent home. So let's see how many times we need to roll 93 or higher. There we go, 96. 96, that was like 4 or 5 attempts, and you were sent home. And perhaps we rolled, I don't know, 30 times on the wounds table for the commander. Maybe 30 times, and I don't think that is exaggerating, because so many times he was hit when he was firing the 50 cal by harassing fire and stuff like that. And I mean, we have had so many tanks knocked out. So what I'm going to do now, and it's going to be only take a second for you, but for me it's going to take way longer. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit down with these. These are all of the after action reports from our campaign. And this is episode 48. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 full action, fully filled after action report. It's there's 4 on each because they're two-sided. So 12 times 4, that's 48. 48 times we've been into action. I will sit and collect all of the kills, all of the losses, everything that's happened, all of the knockouts. I will use the combat calendar. I will also look at our roster. We have a roster for our tanks and for all the crew members. And I'm going to collect all of this information and I'm going to bring it on the screen. Okay, so it's time to reevaluate how this campaign went. And I have spent a few hours actually now recording everything, going through every after action report, the rosters for pretty much everything. So we played a total of 48 missions. Out of those 48 missions, 37 were played with our commander, Dianiemi. 11 were played with other commanders who temporarily took control of the tank as I was in the hospital. And the statistics that I'm going to present is only regarding those 37 missions where I was the commander. I will not include the statistics from the 11 other missions because for me it's not relevant, because it's the whole campaign is about your commander surviving, about you surviving. So only the statistics. That's why if you kill something with another commander, you will not count that VP as the VPs for your personal promotion. It's a very personal matter, this campaign. So we're only going to talk about those 37 missions that we played with our commander. Out of 37 missions, we had 34 victories, 2 defeats, and 1 draw. So I would very much like to say that even though we have played quite cautious, it is going to be a successful campaign. 37 victories and only 2 defeats and 1 draw. That is a very good score. So, how did we do? How did our team do? What did we kill? Our team, with my commander present, knocked out 29 squads of infantry, light weapon squads, and squads of machine gun teams. We knocked out 2 enemy trucks. We knocked out a total of 3 half-tracks and Pumas, Spähwagen and Panzer Spähwagen. We knocked out 1 self-propelled gun, a Stug. We knocked out 2 Panzer IV. We also knocked out 1 AT gun. And last but not least, certainly not least, we knocked out 2 Panthers. I don't think there's many tank commanders in real life in World War II that could brag about knocking out that amount of enemies just during the Western Front campaign. So I think we did very good. We collected a total of 79 VP. So we were very close to getting to the first promotion, but unfortunately we were not promoted. We end with the rank of Sergeant. Our commander has been awarded with a Purple Heart ×5, and we're also awarded with the World War II Victory Medal and World War II Western Front Medal, which are these 2. So we have 7 medals. Would have been nice with a bronze star and a promotion to at least Staff Sergeant. I'll admit that. But this time we didn't get that, but I think that we still did very good with the amount of kills we did. So what about our friendly team? How much did they kill and what did they kill? My friendly task force, or my friends in the task force, killed 58 infantry squads with light weapons and machine guns. They knocked out 7 enemy trucks. Sorry, that's 17. 17 enemy trucks. They knocked out 5 Pumas and half-tracks, Spähwagen, Panzerspähwagen. They knocked out a total of 10 self-propelled guns, mostly unidentified Stugs. They knocked out 2 Panzer IVs. They knocked out 9 Panther tanks, Panzer Vs. They knocked out 21 AT guns. And a total of 8 fortifications were also knocked out or destroyed. So how did the enemy team do compared to my friendly team and to our team? The enemy team knocked out 17 tanks. 17 friendly tanks were knocked out. We knocked out a total of 26 tanks if we also include the self-propelled guns. That is the total. Our team and the task force knocked out 26 with self-propelled guns included, not Pumas or half-tracks or trucks. And so 17 versus 26, I think we did very good considering that is German armor and we are in, German tanks mainly. And even worse, of course, we have Stuarts and whatnot in the combat group, perhaps some Wolverines. Infantry squads, they knocked out a total of 45 friendly infantry squads. So that's a pretty heavy number. However, me in my tank and my crew and our task force knocked out a total of 110 infantry squads, including machine gun teams, light weapons teams, and anti-tank teams. A total of 110. So I will say that regarding knocked out infantry and tanks, we have definitely won. You can see the statistics here, and this is not, we don't include trucks here, we don't include Spähwagens or Panzerspähwagens, and we don't include fortifications. So I think we did very good, considering we met high quality German armor. Areas. We captured a total of 115 areas. We captured a total of 23 exit areas. No Tigers, no King Tigers, or Hetzers were ever even encountered or seen. Many tanks were believed to be Tigers, but none ended up being any Tiger. So Hetzers, Tigers, or King Tigers in a whole campaign of Patton's best 48 missions, because this is also including the other commanders. When I talk about this, we didn't spot a single Tiger, a single Hetzer. So imagine getting a King Tiger. The odds for that is very, very low. We served in a total of 12 tanks. 6 of our tanks were knocked out, 5 were replaced during refit, and 1 had the luck of surviving the war. Our very first tank was an M4 named Hell's Angels. We got knocked out on the very first mission. The next tank we got to serve in was an M4A1 with a B turret named Vegas. We replaced that during refit because that's not a very good tank. A third tank was an M4A3 76W with a G turret. That's an EC8 with the G turret. I'm only going to mention the turret names when there is a tank model that has several different turrets. This tank was called Unity, and was also knocked out. The next tank we got to serve in was an M4A3 with a 75mm and wet stowage with a D turret, named Ironside, also knocked out. After this, we got ourselves another tank, an M4A3 76W with an H turret. That is an EC8 tank with an H turret. Named him Mean Machine, or should I say her. Mean Machine was knocked out rather quickly as well. We got a replacement tank, an M4A3E2. That's a jumbo tank with a 75mm gun. M4A3E2 75W, W stands for wet stowage. We named her Haven, and she was later replaced during refit. During this refit, we replaced her with an M4A3 76W, that is an EC8, that is with an H turret. We named her Jumping Betty, and jump she did when she didn't blow up, but, well, she got shot, knocked out. And we got a replacement tank again. This is hard to read because I'm having all these bad memories from the war. Next tank is gonna be an M4A3 76W. That's an EC8 again with a G turret. Named her Hot Lead. And she was later replaced during refit. So the reason we replaced her was because we got an M4A3E2 76W. That's a jumbo tank with a 76mm gun and wet stowage. We named her Country Bumpkin, and we were going to serve in her during the whole period of counterattacks. And she served us well. She did not blow up. We replaced her during refit. We placed her into an EC8 tank with a G turret, an M4A3 76W. Named her Lazy 8, and she repaid us by getting knocked out. That is the last tank that got knocked out during our campaign. We got a replacement tank, which was ironically another jumbo tank, M4A3 E2 75W. So that's a jumbo tank with a 75mm. It's the third jumbo tank we served in during this campaign. Named her Special Delivery, and she was replaced during refit later on, as we don't want to be in a jumbo tank. We got an EC8 again with a G turret. That's an M4A3 76W G turret. We named her Berlin Bound, but she never got to Berlin. However, she got to Czechoslovakia, where the Patton's best were waiting for refits, and the war ended. So she survives the war. And that is all our tanks. And for crew members, Niemi, yours truly, survives the war, wounded and hospitalized 5 times. W. Peterson was sent to home due to his wounds that he sustained during combat. Abbott was transferred. Wins C was also sent home due to his wounds that he got in combat. William N., rest in peace, my good man, was killed in action in the Arcourt battle. Interesting enough, William N. is the only crew member who actually died in battle. J. Irish Harkin, another very good crew member, he was sent home due to his wounds sustained in battle. So you can see that most people actually were sent home. Johnny P. survived the war, and he ends the war in our beautiful tank, the Berlin Bound. Mutin was transferred. J. Sack, who was the commander for a short time, was also sent home due to his wounds. T. Brayton survives the war. He ends up with me and Johnny P. in the Berlin Bound. Nico survives the war as well. And Preemie Jack also survives the war. All of us end up in the Berlin Bound tank. We survived the very last end of the war. William Moulton was transferred. W. Bridge was transferred. D. Anderson was transferred. Simon French was transferred. And Grant Beck was transferred. Finally, Charles L. didn't want to be a squad member. He wanted to be an infantryman. So I told him, well, you're going to be the first squad leader of the 1st Infantry Squad that dies. So Charles L. was the squad leader of the 1st Infantry Squad in our task force to fall during combat. And he survived, of course. He was wounded in the leg and sent home. And he lived a wonderful life. worked at a hardware store in his little hometown, which one of his sons took over. He had a wonderful life. And that, my friends, is the end of a very long campaign. 48 episodes spanning over several months. I don't know how many hours I've used for this, but I can tell you one thing, it has been worth it. I want to thank everyone who's been watching these episodes. I want to give a very special thank you to everyone who's taken the time to comment on the videos. So I know that someone is actually watching, and that there is a reason for me to do this. I want to thank everyone who's volunteered with crew member names and for tank names. And that is it. I am very much looking forward to our next campaign. Of course, we're going to do one more. We are going to do a campaign with the Firefly tank one day. I don't know when. I'm going to need a little bit of a rest now from Patton's Best. But someday we're going to do a campaign with a Firefly tank. And I can tell you that most likely it will be short-lived, as the enemy will fire always on you, I believe, if they roll 80 or higher. And normally it's just 80 to 85. So, yes, it is more dangerous to be in a Firefly than it is to be in a normal M4 and being the lead tank. So that could be interesting, but it has a super nice gun, so we're gonna probably get to kill something too, and not having, to be so afraid. Well, I guess I'm gonna stop babbling. It just feels a little bit strange that this has actually ended. Again, I want to give a big thank you to everyone who has joined in on this very cool adventure. I will never forget this in my life. I will always remember this campaign. Always. I hope you will too. And I hope you are a subscriber to my channel. There are going to be much more fun stuff going on. There are so many great World War II solo games today that there is really no shortage of fun stuff to play. So I will see you, my friend, in the next adventure.